Hello humans, this is Random Visage and welcome to the Random channel. Today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the NG and NG Plus mode of Grimvalor. Is going to be a review, a little guide and some suggestions to the developers obviously. So I'm actually quite speechless about the game. The game was very much fun. It's been a long time since I played the campaign mode of a game of this manner, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. The art style was amazing, the bosses are great with varied combos and the varied placement of enemies. I mean, if you put a few normal mobs with a bunch of fire archers and a couple of those ball sack monsters, I don't even know what to call them honestly, I just call them ball sack monsters. It's a fucking deadly combo. The controls are responsive and smooth. Never is it like that's not what I wanted to do. I mean, the only fuck up control wise is you, because the controls are fucking perfect on this. They're fucking responsive as shit and they just feel fucking good. I don't never feel like I'm going places I don't really want to go. The only thing I wish for is a little more versatility in terms of weapons. There are three types of weapons in the game. There is light weapons, which would be swords. There's heavy weapon, that would be war axes, and then there's gauntlets, which would like the middle of the road thing. Swords usually have like at the max. Swords usually they have like a higher critical chance. Axes usually have higher stun. Gauntlets have both high stun and high crit. Swords and axes can have a maximum of their particular stat, which would be superior crit and superior stun. Gauntlets cannot get to the superior part, not in the NG at least. They usually stick to high crit and high stun, which is also pretty good depending, they have lower reach, so it depends from person to person how they want to do things. Though I was using the gauntlets, it was just best of both worlds, I guess. Most weapons have a similar move set, nothing really special. The only ones that like kind of stuck out to me were like Grand Machete and the Wind Cutter, which I ended the game with. They were a little bit more unique and quite fun. As for the trader, he has like very basic equipment, basic of all things honestly, and there's really no choosing between trinkets. You can just buy everything and you can just equip everything, so there's no possibility for builds really. There's not much in the name of builds. It's not going to change a whole lot in terms of equipment especially. Here's a fucking little suggestion for anyone who's playing the game. Farming for soul shards and fragments can be like super fucking difficult, and if you don't know the perfect farming spots, you're gonna fucking get clapped honestly. So the normal farming route would be just to kill monsters as you go forward and as you level up, which would be fairly difficult to gain shards and fragments, because the higher level is, the lower amount of shards get dropped from lower level monsters and stuff. So the perfect way that I found is I prefer not to level up and finish the first act, or at least get to the boss monster the boss room. Then you go from the start of the boss floor to the end where the boss room is, and you just keep killing monsters front and back, reload the area front and back, and this way you can grind loads of soul shards and obviously the other type of shards as well. Normal mob drops around like 25 soul shards in that area if your level is like around 1. I think I was level 1 or level 3, I don't quite remember, but it usually drop like 25 soul shards per mob in that area. So I would recommend that. It only takes like a couple of hours to grind like thousands of soul shards. I think when I ended the fucking game, I was like 10 or 12 hours in, and most of that was off screen, me just grinding, and it's fairly fun to just grind, put up a fucking podcast or something and just go around grinding. It's it takes a couple of hours, but you get loads of soul shards. It's great. Don't level up until you get stuck in an area or need to equip new trinkets. Mostly I upgraded not because I got stuck in an area, mostly it was because I got a new trinket, I want to equip it. So that's the best way to go around it. Just learn the enemy's attack pattern. Not that difficult. Like I have a bad fucking memory, and even I can fucking remember. So believe me, it's fairly fucking easy to remember every single enemy's attack pattern for the most part. Bosses are similarly. Keep your equipment up to date, and you will just have enough health to do everything. Everything will work out fine. Takes a little bit more time to kill everything, but it makes the game easier honestly. The only thing about the only other thing I could add to the game would be like a penalty for dying. I mean, I'm happy that there was no penalty because it made it easier for me. But like, if you lost a couple hundred shards, or like in Dark Souls, you know, you would die, and then your souls would just drop on that place, and you have to pick it up. That would make my fucking farming method like very fucking dangerous. Because, you know, if you fucking die twice, every single time you die, you lose a couple hundred shards, and every single time you fucking, you know, accidentally die twice, you lose all those shards. So I am not about to be carrying around 90k soul shards on me. So, you know, it's a bit more dangerous. You would add a bit more danger and, you know, problem to the fucking game. Another thing would be they should not have taken so much from Dark Souls. Like, holy shit, the amount of stuff they have taken from Dark Souls. I mean, the game in itself is fairly unique, but there's just a lot, from story to like characters, a lot of things just like they're very reminiscent to a lot of the fucking what is it called, the fucking Dark Souls universe. And I fucking just hate that shit, because I like Dark Souls, don't get me wrong, but like I don't want to play a fucking rip-off game, a fucking side story type bullshit. But, you know, it still was a great game. Last thing I want to say is that the Slayer is the most epic fucking boss in the game. I don't think anyone has a cooler moveset, a cooler design, and the whole fucking story behind her. She is my favorite fucking boss, and she's fucking hot too, despite the fucking armor. And no one else in the game can even come fucking close, anyone else. Not even the last boss, honestly. And I will be keeping my eye out on the developers, Direlight, that's the name of the fucking developer studio. I'm gonna check out if they get any new games, and I will definitely be playing them. Thank you so much for watching. The link in the description to my Twitter. There's also a link to the game, and there's also lastly the link to my Patreon. You can go check out my entire Let's Plays there. And oh, by the way, one more thing, there's the thing, the NG Plus mode. NG Plus mode is fucking boring. Like, there's, so far, I finished the first act, there was no story changes. The only thing was that the difficulties increased. There are loads of enemies from the later areas in the first fucking act, and they're constantly fucking, what is that? They added a few more weapons in the forge, but they're not unique weapons. They're just buffed up weapons, honestly, and that's kind of sucks. So that's why I didn't really finish NG Plus. I just played it. That was, you know, surely the difficulty was higher, but it didn't really, you know, itch my back, I guess. I don't even know if that's a fucking saying. Anyway, bye bye.